Tales of Arise was unveiled at Microsoft's E3 Xbox conference back at 2019, and it was intended to release at 2020. But unfortunately, that did not happen due to the pandemic, and as such, we didn't even get any more news regarding it. However, in 2021, Yusuke Tomizawa has promised that the 25th anniversary of the series is still going as planned, and as such, he told us to expect some more news of Tales of Arise in 2021. Hey everyone, what up? Matt Kaiser here. Now since we are in 2021, the big question is where can we expect Tales of Arise, since, as I just stated, the producer Yusuke Tomizawa has promised that there will be more news of that game somewhere around this year, and that the stages of the development of that game has reached its last legs. So that does mean it might come eventually soon, as well as some more news. So the question is, when will we get it? And as such, you guys know that back in 2019 we did get some form of news involving the announcement trailer, as well as an extended festival trailer of it, and the TGS 2019 trailer, as well as some info on our two main leads, Alfred and Shion, and some of the behind the scenes and what they want what the producer and the dev team of Tales of Arise to shape up to be. Like, what do they want? Why did they make this game, and what they're intending to release it for? And of course, with 2021, actually no, of course with 2020, the pandemic being a thing, and we recently didn't get any more news about during that time of year, which really sucked. Like, honestly, it was so bad. Like, oh my god, we were so desperate. Like why were they quiet so long? And I was even surprised that even despite the pandemic, that they didn't even show anything, because even if some games were delayed, they managed to at least show something like, oh hey, can you expect Tales of Arise? Like, no, Bamco and Yusuke remained silent throughout the whole of 2020, other than the delay and other than the fact for us to expect more Tales of Arise news coming in 2021. So the question is when are we gonna get it, and where do we think it might come? And now there are some possibilities I might want to add. Now these are just possibilities. These are just like theories in a sense. Like, they might not actually be true, but they're more like speculations. So take what I said with a grain of salt, and maybe some mabu curry added to the mix. Now, one of the events that is coming next month is the Tales of Festival 2020. Now, as such, the Tales of Festival 2020 was meant to come around last year in June, but due to the pandemic, it has been delayed to March 6 to 7, 2021, and is planning to be held somewhere at the Yokohama Arena, and as such, they will also be planning to do a digital paid live stream as well. And as such, what they're going to do is going to show out new merch, skits, talk shows, character skits, concerts, all that stuff. It's basically on how when Tales of Orchestra got delayed, but they eventually did show like a digital live stream of it. And as such, for the Tales of YouTube channel, they have recently shown us past streams of the Tales of Festivals all the way from 2008, which is eventually leading up to this one. As such, the two main MCs who are going to be hosting it will be none other than Mayasaka Onosaka, who voices my boy Zelos from Tales of Symphonia, and Rina Sato, who voices my girl Velvet Crow from Tales of Berseria. And the other guests involved are voice of Mint from Fantasia, Lloyd from Symphonia, Kratos also from Symphonia, Luke from Abyss, Raven from Vesperia, Soraya from Zisteria, Edna from Zisteria also, Zavid also from Zisteria, Aizen from, Zisteria and Berseria, Eleanor from Berseria, Caius from Tempest, Rubia and Tempest, which will be happening on March 6th, Saturday. As for the 7th, it will have Sheena from Symphonia, Yuri from Vesperia, Rita also from Vesperia, Hubert from Grace's F, Malik from Grace's F, Lila from Zisteria, Lavasette from Berseria, Kanata from Custoria, and Mizella from Custoria also. And they will obviously show like merge. They also showed, of course, a new key visual, which, oh my god, I have to say looks fantastic. Now right there, you probably wouldn't have seen anywhere indication that Tales of Rise will show, but there's a theory that it might actually come, because back in 2019, like after E3 showed Tales of Rise, there was also Tales of Festival 2019, which did show an extended trailer of Tales of Rise, like a festival edit of sort. Now, that sort of kind of differed a little bit from the announcement trailer, but it was still something at the very least. So hopefully that could be the case, that finally that Tales of Rise news and a new trailer could be shown at the Tales of Festival. Now that's one possibility. Now the other one may not be actually true, but some of us might think it might happen, and that is with E3 2021. Now, as you guys have probably checked out, that the ESA has planned to revive E3 and plan to have an E3 digital event taking place in, of course, June, as since last year the pandemic was so big that E3 was cancelled and we had to stick with the Summer's Game Fest. Now that's what the ESA are planning, like they're reviving E3, but they'll only do a digital event. The only thing they just need is just backing of major games companies, like they need the support and agreement of other games companies who want to join in and show their stuff. And as such, with E3 back at 2019, that's when they showed Tales of Arise. So that may be a possibility for Bamco to show it on like maybe Xbox and such, because Bamco really has such a thing for Xbox. I mean, Scarlet Nexus, for example. But that's one possibility. The other possibility, and I'm just saying it's a possibility, though it may not happen, is of course with the return of the Summer's Game Fest. Now, Jeff, who you know is the guy who gave us the last Summer's Game Fest, even if you think that was completely awful, has planned to revive it, but this time he's not going to do it for like 4 whole months. He's exactly going to do it in probably like less than a month, which is interesting and actually probably for the better, because in my opinion, the Summer's Game Fest 2020 wasn't really that good, to be honest. I mean, sure there were some things that were good, like the PS5 showcases, but that's really kind of it. I mean, the only thing I was even interested out of it was Crash Bandicoot 4 and Scarlet Nexus and the Replicant. Those 3 games were like the only things I could care about in the Summer's Game Fest, even though some of the other digital showcases they showed were actually pretty neat, like the TGS and like TGS for Nier and Kingdom Hearts and Scarlet Nexus I really liked. And yeah, now take with a grain of salt, like I'm not sure if Yusuke Tomizawa is willing, or Bamco is willing to put Tales of Rise either in both E3 or the Summer's Game Fest, but those are possibilities. Right now, my goal is somewhere with the Tales of Festival 2020, but that may not be true. I know this is just a theory, I'm not always right when I do theories, except the times when I do, even though they're completely predictable and you probably see it coming a mile away. So yeah. We're in 2021 and Yusuke Tomizawa has promised us that Tales of Rise news will be coming as a redemption, like Tales of Rise redemption arc is coming. Like, yes. The question is, when is it gonna happen and how soon can we expect it to come? Like, cause with stuff with it being in the final stages of development, which means that eventually that the game will be eventually ready for them to publish it and put it out there so everyone can play it worldwide and all that stuff. So yeah. Well guys, that's about it. So what do you guys think? Do you guys expect Tales of Rise news to happen either in the Tales of Festival? Do you think it might come around E3 2021? Or do you think it might come in the Summer's Game Fest? Or do you expect it to come somewhere around summer where Scarlet Nexus is? Or somewhere later than that or earlier? Anyway guys, thanks for watching, so punch that like button, drop down a comment and click that subscribe button if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Mad Kaiser out.